There we go. How y'all doing? Hopefully well. If not, hopefully by the end of this you will. Okay. I'm not bringing you heavy news and all that type of stuff. You know what the world is. You know how the world is. I ain't got nothing new to add. Maybe one or two things to take away, but nothing new to add. I know the weather's been a little crazy, so hopefully y'all are safe from the storms out there, and those you know and love are too.
Johnny, you can just eat your feelings like me.
Where's man? You know, this is the true mark of a true fat person. Okay. I've been waiting all day for Amazon to bring me my treats, and then when they did, I was like so extra happy that I almost ran to the living room just to get them.
What'd you get?
Move screen. Wait, I'm gonna show you. Pays to have long arms.
Ooh, I like that shirt. Is that glittery or metallic?
What you looking at?
Your shirt.
Oh, it's plastic, so it's reflecting off the light.
I was wondering if the letters themselves were like glittery.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Mom.
I shine, so it shines too. I got pecan pie pecans.
Are those cookies?
No, they're just pecans, and they got tons of buttery sugar flavor on it. It tastes like pecan pie.
So that picture right there with a mini pie, they're not shaped like that. It's not a bag of mini pies.
It's just the regular pecans.
Ooh.
And I'm going to eat the crap out of them as soon as the stream is over. I just want you to know.
I'm gonna eat my munchkins.
I love munchkins. I really do. I'm radioactive. Yes, I glow. I didn't start a fire earlier. I'll start another one for you. I got these little mini torches that don't go out when you take your finger off the thing. So you got to be Fire Marshal Bill over here.
Ooh, blueberry cheesecake.
Oh, that sounds good too. Now I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You make sugared pecans. See, I'm not, I tried to do the whole put them in the skillet thing and then put like the maple syrup and then different things. And I just didn't know. At the end of it all, I just got wet pecans. That's pretty much all I got. So I said, this is why people work. I buy things and let other people cook it. That's why. So there's me for a start. Becca, what you got going? Anything?
No. I was telling Johnny and Jenny, Braxy's been in a mood. She's going to be in a mood for the whole month because she's a girl and she's going through her thing. So if she comes in here and starts getting lippy, you know what's going on. It's called PMS. So yeah, we took her out for a long walk yesterday, and boy, she was on the struggle bus. Like, I was like, don't you lay down because I can't pick you up, dude. You're 110 pounds. I'm not walking you back 3 miles to the car, So yes, we've been taking it easy today. She's been going through her little girl stuff. So, oh, and there she is. Hey, Munchkin. You want to say hi to your friends? Look, it's all your friends. It's all your friends, Mommy. So, yeah, I just got her dinner, so she should be sort of good. She's been leaving traps for me everywhere all over the house. Like, she's got toys all over the place, and she's got these goat horns I got her so that she doesn't, destroy other stuff. She's been leaving them in places, and I don't wear shoes in my house. I've been stepping all over them, so I'm like walking, I'm like, stepping on a goat horn. It's like, dang it, Braxy.
That's when you take her to the side and you say, you know what, Lassie would never do this to me.
I know. She's trapping her mom. It's not nice, Braxy. You clean your mouth. So yeah,
it's bad enough you live here for free. Now you got to try to kill me at the same time.
I know. So you're the worst roommate ever. No, she just got old enough to where she can. So the vet had said wait for 2 heat cycles or until she's after 2 years old. So this is her second. So we'll be taking her in soon to get her spayed. So, but she's in diapers. So, yeah. And you're miserable, huh? You're going through the girly bits this month. I'm so sorry. So no beach or anything fun for her around other dogs for the whole month till she's done with the situation.
Thank you, Amethyst. So I am let me get my dates, Jesus. Where in the world did the world exist before calendars and clocks and things? Okay, so April the 6th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we are starting a beginner's tarot class. You don't pay for it just yet, but if you want to participate in the class, then you send me an email for your reserved spot. And then next week, actually, on the 23rd is when I will send out the notice, and it'll have all the details in there. If you would like to sign up for the class, it's $100. It's 6 weeks, and it is recorded on Zoom. If you can't be there for all of them, it is recorded and sent to you. They're then uploaded to a YouTube channel where you can watch them forever and ever and ever. But if you want to sign up for the class, then you send me an email to reserve your spot. And as I said, next week, I will send the notice out to you. It starts again April the 6th, and it goes for 6 weeks. It is a beginner's class, so we don't do things that deep dive into the everything of spirituality and all that. It's about tarot. So if you want to participate in that, send me an email, tarotsapprentice@gmail.com, and I will reserve your spot. Okay, madam, you got anything going? JinLynTarot.com.
I'm booking my flight to Portland. So, if anyone would like to, if anyone would like to learn how to do healing energy work, working from the astral body back into the physical, which is quite unique, anyone can do it. There's a breathing technique which I teach, and how to channel the energy and how to send it, how to work with the astral body and the physical body. Airfares are really cheap right now. So I just was booking the cheapest airfare I've ever had from Chicago to Portland for $227 round trip. I've been paying $500 to $600 round trip to get there. So good time to schedule attending the seminar, JinLynTarot.com. Click on the seminar tab. And if you would like a personal reading, click on the readings tab. Skype readings are going away. Skype is going away May 5th, and I don't have an alternative at this time. So at this time, I am not allowing any bookings after May 5th for international people or Skype readings, which was great because you could record the video and you didn't have to pay to be a member of Skype. All the other alternatives I've been looking into, you would have to like pay something to be able to videotape. So I'm still looking. I know about Zoom. I know about Google Meet. I know about Teams. I know about WhatsApp. Don't tell me about any more freaking apps. I've been checking them out. I'm trying to find the thing that's the cheapest where you can access the video afterwards, because if I pay for Zoom, you can't access the video, and I am not emailing videos. The files are too big. So anyway, leave me alone on that, guys. Just know I am not doing international readings. I can call Canada just like calling in the US. So I am accepting Canada and continental US readings by phone only. And if you want to record at your end, you can on your phone. But I'm still checking into it and trying to find an alternative. I've been doing a lot of combination reading, healing sessions with people. It's amazing. There's so many people that are interested in it. They're afraid they can't learn how to do it, but it's like, no, anyone can do it. There's a technique behind it.
Not to mention you get a whole day to learn. So
yeah, it's going to be a Wednesday night meet and greet and registering and everything. And I do a little talk Wednesday night, all day Thursday, which I'll provide lunch on Thursday only, and half a day the morning of that Friday in October. The second event for right now I have put on hold because a lot of you guys are afraid to travel. So it's been booking a little bit slower. So right now I may not do the second event. So it's not on the website.
Oh, a quick FYI, if I may, if I start sneezing and stuff, I'm sorry, my allergies, everything is starting to bloom over here. So I feel it in my throat. I've been sneezing all day. My eyes are, I'm just letting you know if I start sneezing. I'll try to mute myself, but just FYI.
all of our trees are in bloom too. My eyes itch like you poured powder into them.
I'm getting the one where it's like my throat is a little bit sore and then my nose is itchy inside of the, like way back here in my nose. It's like, oh, allergies. Here we go. And I can't find my antihistamines. I think they might be in my purse.
I love trees, but they're trying to kill us. So.
All my stuff, we've gotten a few really good days of rain. Like it rained for like 4 days straight, and it wasn't bird spit, Johnny. It was actually like rain. Then we got hail. I was like, what the heck? It was like banging. I was like, what's going on out there? And I look out the window and it's all this hail. It looked like ice cream falling from the sky. I was like, that's nice. So all my plants are like starting to bloom, and it's just, the flowers are really pretty though.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of that around here, and the cherry trees and all that crap, but itchy. So I guess we can start with get the ugliness on our side out of the way. Chuck Schumer is going through it right now. He's having his tower moment, I guess. He voted for the bill. Many of you have asked why. And a lot of his fellow Democrats are saying he's the worst person ever. There's been a couple that have come out. I think the senator from Connecticut has backed him up and saying, you know, it was a bad position, but I still support him and da 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 da. So they're trying to even out the playing field. But the first question is, why did he vote in favor of the spending bill? Keeping in mind, they passed it, and now they have to go back because it cuts $1 billion from DC itself, which affects the firefighters and the teachers. And then it's like, oops, well, we didn't really mean to do that. So Chuck Schumer said, we're going to send something to the House so that it can be fixed, and then this type of thing. When, you know, measure twice, cut once. You probably should have read it before you said yes, is what I'm thinking. But, you know, since that's the only thing y'all have to do is read and vote.
Even the union, Johnny, for the federal workers came out and said, do not vote on this bill. Even Nancy Pelosi. Holy hell. I was like, my jaw was on the floor. Told him, do not vote on this bill.
Medicaid, cutting SNAPs, cutting veterans benefits. It's all over the place.
It was 10 Democrats total that voted. Gillibrand was on there, which I'm not surprised. Fetterman, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's on the list too.
Oh boy. So the question is, why did he vote for the CR?
Why did he vote yes?
And they're cutting all these positions anyway, so who cares if they shut the government down, right?
They were trying to do the whole thing to where the MAGAs were saying, well, look, the Democrats were always against shutting it down, and now here you guys go. And it's like, well, it's a little different this time because of the things that are in the bill that would go forward if they vote yes. But you can't explain things to some people, so why try?
Oh, he's got his ear. Whether that's a donor, because I got the King of Pentacles on the bottom, and he's trying to look at his options, and he was pushed to do it. Couldn't find any other options. Yeah, he wimp. I'm gonna say because he's a wimp. I'll be right back. I have to get my credit card for my air flight.
I get the garden, the man, the birds, crossroad, and key. He was in a meeting and they were negotiating a very important choice, but it looks like it has something to do with elections or midterms. Because these are the last three, and the first is garden and man. Negotiating, several meetings, important choice. See what I'm saying? So I get no money cards here. I get no, these are the first two cards. There's nothing about retaliation. There's nothing about blackmail. There's nothing about money.
I get first card, 5 of Pentacles. There is something around that. What's that other guy's name? Hakeem Jeffries, where they say they don't have the majority. What do you want them to do? He feels as though he's on the outside or that he is lacking resources and support and that type of thing. The 5 of Pentacles is lacking the thing that you need in order to proceed. However, the other side of the 5 of Pentacles is your salvation is there, but you walk right past it because you're focused on something else. And so if you vote yes, then all the horrible things happen. If you vote no, at least you take a stand. And so, like who, I think it was him, one of them said it, that if you want to do this alone, Republicans, then do it alone. Don't do it with us, but you can't do it without us. And so, da 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 da. So you should have let them try. But here is the Chariot card. That is the card of teamwork. So it's almost as if he was pulled to the other side. He was pressured because of the way it would make him look or something of that nature. Here with the leadership position, he didn't want to appear to be weak, even though, or not weak, but a person who shut down the government. So he didn't want it to be his fault. And then there's a 6 of Cups that is your sort of lacking numbers in this case. And so he feels as though he had no choice, which I say you always have a choice.
Is there a special election or a very important election coming up?
No idea.
Yeah, there's elections in Florida for 2 House seats, and then there's going to be an election in New York for Elise Stefanik's seat if she resigns from her seat.
Because mine was saying a very important meeting about elections that are going to be important. See, I don't know how a government shutdown would affect that. If it would, I don't know. They're saying April 1st. And then they're saying Florida and some other states. So I don't.
Well, my second question, sort of piggybacking off of this, is it's caused a war of words between many Democrats. So I want to know, will there be more infighting? And will they start to eat each other too? Will there be more infighting with Democrats? You know, part of me is cheering that on though, because they need some leadership and some energy. Your leaders abandoned you to go on book tours and conglomerate with all the other ones.
AOC's already attacking him, and deservedly so.
Because I mean, look at the blowback and the fallout. You voted for it, and now you have to go fix something because it just cut $1 billion from teachers and firefighters. All they have to do is read and vote, read and vote, read and vote. They don't have to build carburetors. They don't have to dig ditches. They don't have to do open heart surgery. Read and vote. That's your job description. And you don't even read the bill that you just signed.
They could force the Republicans to negotiate by not signing it.
And that's right, Sue. I don't understand. Pull your damn glasses up, please.
Didn't we just talk about this last week? How the old leadership needs to go?
It does.
Pelosi and Schumer. I think.
We're just not acting this
But
way.
then you got older people. You got older people like Bernie Sanders that are doing wonderful things. So, you know,
It's not about
the age.
It has to do with their politics.
Yes, it has nothing to do with age.
Mind you, I have a couple examples too of Biden, who was too old to be president, apparently. A whole bunch of things that he put into place that are now being rolled back that are going to be quite devastating to some people that probably they didn't even realize he did, because they don't walk around with all their accomplishments on their shirt, which I wish they would sometimes. But anyway, what you get?
I get yes.
I get America's getting this.
I get a yes. People are not happy with them. This is happiness. People are not happy. They don't understand what they're doing, why they're not doing anything, why they're not moving forward. They're becoming an enemy. They're complying and gifting, rewarding the enemy. Trouble, chaos, confusion, no leadership, because this is a king. No leadership. It's will there be more infighting? Yes, but it's almost like from the ground up, because people are not happy with their performance at all.
Anxiety. They stole the election. They moved votes around. They've got a hold of the White House, and you guys are just sailing down the river. People are not happy with them, and the party within the party, they're not happy. So I get there may be some that turn their back on the party, that may, you know, do like Bernie, be independent, vote the majority of the time, you know, with the Democrats. But I get a lot of Americans are unhappy with them because they're being too erratic. Say one thing, do another. Like, don't put it all on us to get out there and protest like they're doing in Hungary right now.
And
y'all
here's
have to do something too.
The condescension. Well, this is what people voted for. This is not what we voted for. We know exactly who's in that White House. We know that he's a liar, a cheat, and a fraud. What made you think that that man wasn't going to lie and cheat and steal again when his life, his freedom was depending on it? Yeah. No, it's our fault. We voted for this? No, we did not.
I get yes, and I do get
10% of America voted for that.
That it's over bills and things with the Page of Pentacles. There's going to be a lot of dissension especially because of things that they have to vote over, and not just vote over, but things that are being put into place that they can't get enough Democratic voices on as well, as far as like the pushback and things go. There's going to be a lot of pressure put upon people in places with the Nine of Wands that, like an AOC and a Schumer, like telling people that you need to do this, you need to do this. Why aren't you saying this? Why aren't you saying that type of thing? So there's going to be a lot of that kind of thing. And I really wouldn't call that, I mean, it's infighting, sure, technically, but I wouldn't call that infighting. It's more of accountability. Like, you need to be accountable because this is not the thing that your voters voted for, just like Becca just said. So this is not what we voted for. This is not what we wanted. Therefore, you need to go and put the armor on with the sword and the shield and get out there and start fighting with the rest of us. It can't be the same 6 people. Jasmine Crockett and Katie Porter and AOC and Bernie Sanders are not supposed to be the only people trying to save the democracy that you live under. And so, and Jamie Raskin and what you call it, you need more people than that. And you have more people than that.
Have you heard the
Katie
phone
Porter
calls?
doesn't even have a seat at the table anymore.
Have you heard the phone calls, the leaked phone calls from people calling Tuberville in Alabama, the voicemails? Oh my God. Oh my, death threats, all sorts of stuff. And then Republican representatives are showing up, and people are 2 seconds away from bringing out the guillotine. You have a platform to stand on right now. The only people out there is Tim Walz and Bernie Sanders and AOC. Everybody else in the party, crickets. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Let me trade my stocks before he tanks the market. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell, and it's not just Democrats that are PO'd, it's Republicans too. There's a time to capitalize. It's right now. And they're just like,
Well, let's go to him, actually. Tim Walz is making the rounds. And I said this yesterday to some people. I wish, one thing he said that, like, my hair stood on end, is he said Democrats wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for us. And I'm like, no, don't say that. Do not say that. Don't ever say that. First of all, something is more diabolical than just that. First of all, we know he stole this. This had nothing to do with that ticket. Everybody was on board with that friggin' ticket. Kamala Harris and Coach Walz, like, first of all.
Johnny.
Second of all, you said all the right things and was the right person. So that you did not cause this for the Democrats. You just didn't.
She destroyed him at the debate. And she had,
Johnny,
5 times, 10 times as many people showing up at her rallies.
the huge coalitions with never Trump Republicans and Democrats. And then on top of that, the election was called in a couple of hours with more voters than we had the last time. Tell me something didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's sitting around like, no, it was totally free and fair.
Bomb threats and cutting voter rolls and stuff. Yeah.
So Tim Walz did
Trump has said, as you put it last week, from the Oval Office this time. He did it in a rally.
Did he do it 3 times now?
It's 4.
From the Oval Office said it was rigged.
And then on
Told the FIFA guy it was rigged.
His victory rally, thanks to Elon Musk, who knows so much about computers, those vote counting computers, the only person that has said anything is Jasmine Crockett and Maxine Waters. 2 Black women. Think about that.
Leave it to them to save the world. There is a town hall type of thing. Tim Walz was at it. He was, doing his Tim Walz thing. And he called out the representative, Don Bacon, who's a representative of his state, and basically saying, you should be here too. Like, these are your constituents. Talk to these people, hear these people out, that type of thing. What I want to know is, will this type of thing pick up and spread, where the Democrats are going to the town halls and calling out the Republicans to come meet them and meet the people too, because the Republicans are skipping out on them because they know what's going to happen. They're going to get cussed out and yelled at. But will more of this happen where they start to put pressure? The left will start to put pressure on the right to come to these meetings.
Johnny, did you see the I forget the guy's name. North Carolina held a town hall. It was full. They couldn't let any more people in. And then there were people, hundreds of people outside to chew this guy's a-hole out. And a veteran stood up and started ripping him a new a-hole. You don't give an F about us, blah, blah, blah. They kicked him out.
I've seen that.
And then he ran away. Oh, these were paid protesters. That's a lot of freaking, sorry. That's a lot of freaking paid protesters. A whole room full and a whole crowd outside. You know, like, So what was the question? Will this spread?
Yes. Will they, more people on the left pressure more people on the right to take part in hearing your people out?
They got the bird flu. They're all chickens. It's the Republican bird flu.
There's a part of me that's very happy that this happened, because maybe now they'll get it through their heads that they keep voting against their own interest. Maybe.
Yeah, they're going to keep bullying them and creating chaos. They're also going to swing voters over. People are starting to see the lies in a new perspective. So they're seeing the lie, basically, where they believed them before. People are going to be seeking them out. They're not happy. Traitors and treason and prison in jail.
Republicans do not have the numbers. The fish is abundance, a lot of something. It gets eaten away here. And then there's anger, criticism, and violence.
They're running away.
A lot of anger, criticism, and violence. And the Republicans thought it was a good idea to brainwash their entire, demographic of constituents that Second Amendment is the most important amendment in the Constitution because it's your job to take out a tyrannical government. This has a lot of violence because people are stressed and very, 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 very angry. So I would not be surprised at all if some 2A toting person, because they've been,
that's on the list too.
I mean, because they have been indoctrinated into a party that it's your job to do this. And then they see you as the enemy. Buckle up, Buttercup. That's all I'm saying. I see a lot of angry people, and a lot of people that are angry about the corruption, the amount of corruption that's happening with the mice. So,
yeah, all the corruption they're finding in Elon's pocket.
Why hasn't anybody been indicted then? Fraud is a crime. Why hasn't the DOJ brought any fraud? Because he's funneling that money to himself.
And Pam Bondi is there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's more concerned with giving Epstein files to YouTubers than, anyway. Will there be more? Yeah.
The phone list, which we already knew about.
Yeah.
Let me give you a binder like this that's nothing but the phone list.
What were they supposed anyway? What was they supposed to do with that? I guess to just pick out the Democrat names and then get on YouTube and say, here's who was there. And anyway, the Lovers and the Star. Yes, there will be more that come out. This will happen over the next year too. There's a whole lot of pressure. Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can be very. I don't want to use the word vindictive because that's more of a revenge thing. This is very cut to the chase. This is blunt too, because she has the exact words to give, and sometimes they can be a little sharp. So it's not a happy meeting. This is not something where we're all going to come together because we want to figure out what color to paint the barn that's in the middle of town. This is very serious. It's like very serious because, not to mention, your prescriptions, your drug costs, your grocery costs, your mortgages, your insurance costs, your everything kind of costs, not to mention if all of those costs depend upon your Social Security. And so there's a whole lot of things to where people are like, if I don't get one check, that changes my entire life. And so when you only give people $900 a month and their rent is $800 a month, that changes everything. And so these meetings are going to be very serious, and I think there is going to be pressure. Now, will they take part in it? No, but the pressure is still there.
And to your point, Johnny, they're saying start saving your money to those people on Social Security. That's barely enough to live.
Save what?
Save what? 25 cents?
Yeah.
You can't even buy a pack of gum for 25 cents.
Because mind you, the rent is $800. You give me $900. I still got to pay for food. I still got to pay for lights. I still got to pay for water. I still got to pay for, God forbid, I need a cell phone. You know, everybody needs one. So you got to have that, and you got to have that bill, which is every single month.
Oh, and by the way, if you're in one of the disaster areas that was just hit by tornadoes and fires, Mississippi, Alabama, and I forget where else, we just canceled FEMA. So have fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically what they want to do is privatize Social Security. They want to put it on a cyber currency so that, and probably one of Trump's, or Elon's, to force us to spend money their way so that they're making money off of our money. And that's the oligarchs. It's a pyramid. Everything he's accusing Social Security of, that cyber crap, is all a pyramid scheme.
So let's change gears.
And it's a way to control how we spend money and where we spend money.
For half a second here. Down in Florida, what's his face? Eminem Boots is about to.
Oh my God, Johnny!
Just made myself laugh.
Two finger Ronnie.
Eminem Boots he's about to be turned down, so he can't run anymore. They are floating around the idea of Casey DeSantis, his.
Oh my God, Sharpie eyebrow lady.
Yeah, they're floating the idea for her running for governor because that would basically be like a third term for him. But Byron Donalds,
oh God,
the coon of Florida, wants to go and try to run too, and so you have crazy lady, and then Stephen Fetchik over here.
That Florida is out of gas, and two finger pudding M&M Boots guy is calling Mexico begging for gas after you deported all those people. I'm telling you.
No, go get your gas out of the Gulf of America. So Casey DeSantis, and Byron Donalds. I don't know if you want to put one card for each or what. I don't know how you do it, but what are their chances if they both decide to go all the way with this of being the governors of Florida? Byron believes in his heart of hearts that the Republicans love him because he bent over backwards for them. And then Casey DeSantis thinks nepotism is the way into office. And so what are their chances? Poor Florida, Jesus. Michelle's hearts. The Satan, there you go.
Pudding pops.
Can't
Let me
imagine
eat my
somebody
pudding with my
eating pudding
fingers.
with their fingers.
I wonder what his wife does. Where her fingers have been.
Why you eat pudding with your fingers? Boy, get your spoon here. What's wrong with you?
In my opinion, he will never outlive that. That'll be on his tombstone. I eat
M&M
pudding with
boots.
fingers.
That's crazy. Okay. Byron Donalds. Wait, let me focus on what am I doing? Focus. Okay. Casey DeSantis first.
I guarantee you in 100 years, there'll be pictures of Elon Musk's kids smearing boogers on the Resolute desk tube.
Byron.
I get no for Byron Donalds. Tree Child Coffin, that's a no. And a strong opportunity for Sharpie eyebrows with the birds, the clover, and the sun. So she may not have the support, but you better believe there's going to be a lot of energy behind her that has to do with a lot of gossip, chit chat. So I don't know if it's radio ads, TV ads, billboards, podcasts, that sort of thing to hype her up. Do you see what I'm saying?
Is Byron Donalds a big Trump supporter? Like he's aligned with his agenda?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those two? Yeah, no. I don't think either one of them will get it. I think they both are burdens. Y'all need to come up with somebody else.
I get gossip and a strong opportunity behind Casey for the person, Chris. Birds, that's gossip. Clover, opportunity. Sun, victory. So that's all I'm saying. Whether she wants to run or not, I don't know. But somebody's
What
making.
she wants is not really part of the picture. You do what you're told round in there. For her, it ends in the 5 of Cups. I don't think she could make it all the way, but there's a huge amount of campaign around her. The Knight of Pentacles would be your campaigning, you're working, you're canvassing, you're hitting the ground, blah, blah, blah. The High Priestess, though, means there's an agenda, which means there is some calls made. There is some things that need to be skewed in a specific direction, that type of thing. I don't think it'll work, but it's there. For him, he's a little too dark, I think. 5 of Pentacles is my card for racism and thrown out in the cold. The 3 of Swords is your card of betrayal. This comes from your party, not your voters. The voters can do what they want to do. They can vote for you if they want to. But your party is not going to be behind you because this is more of the campaign for her. But for you, no, sir.
Every time I see Byron Donalds, all I can think of is Clayton Bigsby, that character that Dave Chappelle played, the black, blind, white supremacist KKK leader. That's exactly what I see in my head. It's like, did you not see the color of your skin, homeboy? Like,
well, let's talk about the South African while we're here.
Hey, Lori in the chat.
In Oregon, one of the Tesla dealerships or something like that was shot up. Actually, there was nobody in it, but they still, expressed their Wild West Second Amendment rights, I suppose. What I want to know is, will his business continue to be targeted? Mind you, Donald Trump wants to make it illegal to protest him, a felony. They're calling this an act of terrorism and all that, which, okay, fine. But
they're doing it overseas too, Johnny.
Yeah.
France said, we're like, hey, we're burning Teslas, and France said, hold my champagne, and went and blew up a whole
Not hold my beer, hold my champagne.
So what was the question, Johnny?
Will they continue to be targeted, his businesses?
His businesses that he's lost over $180 million in.
Yeah, we'll go there next, too.
Even Trump hawking him at the White House isn't helping.
It's fun. I've
Used car
seen
salesman.
on Twitter that Donald Trump is asking people to buy Teslas when they can't afford eggs. It's like, there's your president.
That's how in touch he is. I'm one for his granddaughter. Yeah. He's never bought a car for a grandkid. Or his granddaughter's like, you did what? Freaking liar.
It's not Tesla, it's Tesla.
Is that how you say it?
That's how he said it in the White House lawn when he was holding his used car salesman.
Right.
The videos that I was seeing on TikTok, they made it look like a QVC commercial. Some of them made it look like infomercials. Dial 1-800 and then a number to buy your Tesla. Swats to cars, yeah. I get a yes. It's going to go for a long time, a very long time, because people now have knowledge and they're very angry, and this is the way that they fight. This right here is about purity, and people know that if it talks like a Nazi, walks like a Nazi, and salutes like a Nazi, it's a Nazi. So ongoing anger, ongoing attacks over a long period of time. So, and it's not just here in the US, Germany, Mexico, France.
Cars bullied. Cars bullied. Yeah, this is a lot of change in how people come together over this. A lot of change. He's going to have anxiety till the day he goes to jail. He's seen as a traitor. People are working out the details to show strength at his dealerships and stuff. America is going to bully your cars.
And here's another thing. Wasn't it Elon Musk that before this administration went on a few interviews, and when he was talking about his grand plan to tank the economy, he said Americans need to learn hardship. Eat your words, Elon. Eat your words, because karma came. Americans need to experience hardship. He didn't think it was going to affect him.
Mm-hmm. 5 of Swords. It will. There's your bullying, your dishonorable behavior. Mind you, not everybody who has a Tesla is Elon Musk. They still need their charging stations too. Don't burn them all down. But at the same time, yes, this will continue. It's going to affect the pocket a lot. So my next question, did Trump buy a Tesla? Mind you, when he went to the grocery store, he didn't use his own money. When he went and bought the McDonald's, he didn't use his own money.
Johnny, when he went to the grocery store,
You're buy a car for me.
You could tell it was the first time you've ever been inside one.
Yes.
Taking the people out of the nursing homes to the grocery store. I bet you he doesn't even have a driver's license.
No.
I bet you.
He said he doesn't drive. He doesn't drive. He drives a golf cart. That's the only thing he drives around his graveyard.
Most people that buy Teslas are liberals because they're environmentally conscious.
Yes.
Donald Trump has spent the last 10 years brainwashing the right that electric vehicles are too woke.
Yes.
Then you go around and you fire everybody so they don't have a job. They can't pay for eggs. They can't pay their mortgage. They can't pay for their medicine. And you want them to go buy an unnecessary big ticket item of a luxury vehicle that gets more recalls than bad eggs. With what money? Can't pay with your SNAP benefits because you cut those. Can't pay with your job money because you ain't got that either. So how are you expected to pay for your Tesla? Your Tesla, not Tesla, Tesla.
This man opened a graveyard on his golf course. I mean, what do you expect from him? Of course, he's never been in a grocery store. And I bet you back then, too, the eggs were pretty damn cheap under Biden.
You know what? He's so stupid that he would fail his freaking driver's license test. I will die on that hill. Did you hear? Oh my gosh, did you hear what he called Elon Musk after that whole Tesla thing?
Uh-uh.
He's so smart. He's such a genius, like Isaac Newton that invented electricity.
Not neutron.
Not Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton. Johnny, I crap you now.
He literally neutron. Oh my god.
No, wait, hold on. I gotta find it. Because I sent it to
Citizens of the world. He is not our president. I just want y'all to know that.
hold on.
Oh my god.
Was that before or after he was babysitting little Lex?
I got
He's raising extra money by babysitting.
I sent
He
it.
charges Elon $1 million an hour for babysitting.
I sent it to Stephanie, and I was like, "There's no way this is real." Sure enough, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my
Okay,
god.
hold on.
Newton, who cares? He invented electricity, for God's sake. It's an honest mistake to make. And now this, unbelievable. Nobody laughs at the fig Newton, the cookie, but they're making fun of me now. It's in the news. Newton, neutron, who cares? He invented electricity.
That was his rebuttal because everybody was making fun of him. Everybody was making fun of him. So wait,
Neutron?
yeah, Isaac Newton.
Jimmy
Which means he
Neutron.
said it twice if that was his rebuttal.
Oh my god! Wait, I gotta find it because it was so ridiculous that I was like, this can't be real. But you go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
You probably think I forgot what our question is. What's our question?
Did he buy the car?
It's a lie. No, he did not.
Neutron?
In the absolute.
He's just burning doing the neutron dance, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Listening to Rachel Maddow's show from last.
Hold on.
And I saw.
Oh my god! I have to wait.
That's Isaac Neutron's cousin, Jimmy Neutron, I guess.
Oh my god! I was literally just.
Isaac Neutron.
That was just messaging. He's assessing and waiting because he's got a little constriction in his pocket. He's waiting on Putin to pay for it or somebody else or somebody else. He didn't buy one. Freaking liar.
Again, it was moved there. So it's like
all missing.
a display car. And then they just take it back to wherever they got it from. Knight of Cups is image.
There's no motor in it. He bought a shell of a car.
It's a box car.
It's a little matchbox car.
Get in it like the Flintstones and just
He bought a little matchbox car, gave it to his granddaughter.
Oh he is so embarrassing, Jesus Christ. Not Neutron though. Oh,
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. He called him Isaac Neutron, dude. I'm like
appalled.
Isaac Neutron that invented the electricity.
I heard that he invented electricity
Isaac Neutron.
because he's Thor.
Not Edison that invented the light bulb. Elon Musk is such a genius, just like Isaac Neutron that invented electricity.
Oh my God.
Never mind Edison or Tesla. Let's
You
talk about
discover
Isaac Newton.
electricity. You cannot create it. You can create something that can create it, but you don't create electricity. You're not Thor. Okay. First of all. Second of all, Isaac Newton did create a whole bunch of things. Okay.
Well, discovered gravity when the apple fell off his head.
Yeah. He created calculus, inferential and differential calculus, the prism. He figured out white light goes into the rainbow and rainbow go back into the white light. Very smart person.
But we're not talking about the same guy. We're talking about
No,
Isaac.
we're talking about Isaac Neutron.
Johnny, the jokes on TikTok have been insane because I told you what he was saying about the daylight savings time, that grandma's dying. So, and then it's so stupid to have daylight savings time. So then look, poor Granny died. Poor Granny died. Why? Because you set the time forward an hour. Now Granny's dead. So people were joking on TikTok. They're like, okay, so if we put Granny in one of these Isaac Neutron Teslers, will she be able to outlive daylight savings time and live forever? I'm like, you have
God. Just send her back in time. She'll never die.
in one of those Isaac Neutron Teslers.
What was that car called? The DeLorean? Is that the one they used in Back to the Future?
He
Oh my
probably
God.
believes Cynthia Erivo can really defy gravity. I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
Because she sings it.
Isaac
can't.
Neutron.
But remember, folks, he knows more about everything than anybody on the planet. So
Yeah, because he had an uncle that went to MIT. So the
And
brains, oozed out of him into Trump.
yeah, that J in his name is for genius, just like Isaac.
I want anybody to ask Donald Trump who Tesla is. I want to know.
In that interview, he was talking about Tesla. But you know how he is very vague about, he bullcraps his way through everything that he doesn't know. Well, that Tesla guy was a genius, and Elon's a bit of a genius too, just like Isaac Neutron invented electricity. I have to find that. Stephanie, if you can find it where I sent it to you, can you resend it to me? Because I can't find it on my phone. I thought I bookmarked it. It was so ridiculous that I was just like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
I can't breathe. Don't play it.
I mean, at this point, he's writing for The Onion. At this point,
Wait a minute. I'm gonna be Johnny Neutron.
There is not one brain cell in that head of his.
no. Johnny Neutron, there you go. Invented electricity. Yeah, he also said Tesla invented the light
I
bulb.
controlled the lights with my hand.
No, dumbass. That was Edison. There's a whole power company in Florida named after him.
Never mind Ben Franklin.
Oh my God.
Does he know who Ben Franklin is?
Probably not.
He's the second president of the United States. No, he's the 100th because he's on the $100 bill.
He probably thinks Alexander Hamilton invented the phone.
If he even
Because
knows
he's
who
got the same
Alexander
first
Hamilton
name.
is.
Donald Trump invented memes. That's what he invented.
Oh my God. What
So-
kind of stupid.
Elon sets the record for the most money lost by one person at one time.
Oh, Stephanie sent me the
it-
video. Can I play it?
60 days. Oh my God. I don't know if I can take it.
Stephanie just sent it to me. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, Johnny, you ready for this?
No,
Are you
go
guys
ahead.
ready for this?
So we have the making fun of me now. It's in the news. Newton, neutron, who cares? He invented electricity, for God's sake. It's an honest mistake to make. And now this, unbelievable. Nobody laughs at the fig Newton, the cookie, but they're making fun of me now. It's in the news.
Nobody laughs at Fig Newton, the cookie.
Yeah, go ahead. Do away with the Department of Education.
Come on, somebody say it, please. Oh
Nobody
my
makes fun of.
God. He was born here too.
Oh my God! Didn't one of
We
his
can't even
professors
say, you know, Canada, come get your shit. No, this is ours.
didn't one of his professors from Wharton say he was one of the stupidest sons of bitches he's ever had? Nobody makes
I
fun of
believe him.
the cookies. It was an honest mistake.
How you
I
get
have a
Phil Newton but Isaac Neutron?
Watch him say that Fig Newton discovered gravity. Watch.
He discovered apples and then made a cookie.
That's how they put the fruit inside the cookie. Oh my God! I can't.
Help me, Jesus. Somebody anywhere.
My stomach hurts from laughing. Oh, the
Help me,
jokes like
Jesus.
themselves.
He
Sorry.
can figure out the name Newton because it has something to do with food, but he can't figure out Isaac Neutron is not his name.
Nope.
Oh my God.
And they wanted to protect the U.S. from a female president because Trump's so smart. I
Oh
was
my
asking if he was the dumbest president we've ever had in the U.S.
Oh, he takes the cake. Somebody needs to send him an award. I mean, hands down.
Partnering with Russia can't get much dumber than that.
This guy makes Little Bush look like a genius.
Come on. Jesus. You get on that horse, you got to ride it. Okay. He sets the record for the most money lost. Here's the thing, because Donald Trump, he went on this whole tirade about how it's the left extremists that are causing the Tesla stock to go down, that are causing Elon to lose so much money and all that type of thing. Okay, let's say that is true because it more than likely is, because his customer base is what? Left-leaning. If you know your customer base is left-leaning, then why don't you lean left too if you want to keep trying to sell them things, or not make your politics known and just stay out of it altogether? That way the left-leaning people can just keep buying your product. This is just like Ben and Jerry's if they came out tomorrow and said, you know, we don't like women or gays or black people or something like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, there goes their customer base because it's left-leaning. So why is it that if you're going to blame the left for the downfall of Tesla, you don't also attribute the fact that your left-leaning audience is the one making you the money?
Oh, and may I remind you, because I had to be reminded myself, there was a black man that was left-leaning that was once a president. I think his name was Obama, that saved Tesla from going bankrupt.
Bailed him out.
Bailed him out with our taxpayer dollars. And here is this SOB with a full Nazi salute on the world stage and pushing for hard right politics around the globe. And then the globe says, 2 middle fingers, go stuff it where the sun don't shine. We want nothing to do with you. And now he's crying. Now you're crying. Look at that. The consequences of your actions.
Mm-hmm. So
everybody else's fault, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
When you set a record, you get a little plaque from the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, this is very petty, but at the same time, so is he going to get a little plaque from the Guinness Book of World Records?
He lost what?
I'm losing all your money in one day.
$180 billion in a day or in a week or something like that.
He beat Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg lost like 80 billion or something crazy.
And it's not like you didn't have examples. Look at MyPillow. Look at Rudy Giuliani. Look at everybody that has come before you and has been within an inch of Donald Trump. But you thought
everything Trump touches dies. If you haven't learned that yet,
he thought he was.
You're a businessman.
It just fell out. There's the,
what card is that?
That's the death card.
Looks just like him.
Everything he does, guys.
So did Elon Musk get a gold plaque for tanking his personal wealth in the shorts? I
He
love
can
this.
send it to Pennsylvania Avenue, care of the White House.
I love this for him, especially when he said Americans need to learn hardship.
Yeah.
Karma sometimes acts very slowly. Sometimes she comes back with a quickness, and she showed up.
And you know, the table of hardships got a lot of seats, so you're welcome to one.
And there's more of us than there is of you, Elon.
Mhm.
Way more. Way more of us than there are your billions. He just lost another SpaceX contract. He was talking smack about a billionaire in Mexico saying that he supports the cartel. He was talking smack on Twitter. And so the Mexican billionaire said, okay, I'm canceling the contract. He lost $27 billion with that one just recently, like a week or so ago.
He's lost France. He's lost Mexico.
Germany,
Germany.
Canada, I think is next.
Part of Canada.
And all his stuff is tied up in the Tesla stock. So when that house of cards comes down, you better believe the shareholders are going to sue the living crap out of him. Because now you made them broke because you decided you wanted to go for world domination and make yourself king.
So you get the award, but while we're at it, maybe we'll send one to Trump for being the biggest liar, the most lies in a day.
I get that he hasn't gotten one yet, but he will soon.
He earned it.
Yep, you earned it.
Well, he's got his Twitter buyout was tied with Tesla. Like he leveraged money with Tesla.
Everything is leveraged against Johnny Bucks. There you go, Johnny. Hold on. You don't have those anymore because they're tanking the economy. You better get rid of that paper.
Oh, well, he can have this if he wants. Got 12 cents with your name.
Johnny Crypto now.
I get yes, eventually, because this is going to get worse, actually. And so to the point that was made earlier, you have example after example after example of stay away from this man. He's Teflon, you are not. You're Elon. That's not the same thing. This is going to get worse. This is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is your planning card, your strategy, meetings, that type of thing. Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. This is going to happen in other places. Page of Wands is foreign places for me. This is going to happen in other places. So what you're experiencing in the U.S. as far as economic downturn is not just a U.S. thing. This is everywhere thing. Canada's dropping the Starlink, and somebody else is dropping the Starlink, and then somebody else is dropping the Teslas, and somebody else is vandalizing the Teslas, and somebody else doesn't want this and doesn't want that. This is the tip of the iceberg.
You're just one man. Not a good idea to piss off the whole world with your crazy politics and unapologetic neo-Nazism, because it turns out that being a neo-Nazi is not acceptable at all. Period.
So is Musk going to lose his babysitter and have to file bankruptcy?
Well, his grand tableau, I'm going to have to dig it out because I don't remember it exactly. It's still good for anybody in the chat that's like, have you done a new one? No, because his is still active. But I do remember birds in the house of clouds, clouds in the house of clouds in the house of fish, fish in the house of clouds. I said in that video, his businesses are going to be in big trouble. And the whip was in its own house: abuse, addictions, fighting, criticism. And there was a couple of other things that were mirroring, but I remember that specifically, that his businesses were going to like be in huge, huge trouble.
Losing his contracts too. eventually.
Yeah, that was in his grand tableau. Contracts get cut. It was Tower, Ring, and Scythe. Government contracts are cut. So, I mean, I would have to go back and review it, but those are the things I remember right off the top of my head. And it's good for a bit more, for a few more months. Let me see.
You watch, France saying, we'll get our own satellite thing
It's good
instead
until
of Starlink. Well, they're going to start selling that to the rest of Europe. That's all they need, and then the rest of Europe will be like, bye, Musk.
Oh, sorry. His grand tableau is good until October of this year. It was clouds in the house of fish, fish in the house of clouds, whip in the house of book, book in the house of whip. So knowledge of something that they attacked, they abused, and it had to do with mail or receipts or results. And then lilies in the house of woman, woman in the house of lilies. That was everything that was in his tableau.
All right. So, kind of piggybacking off of him too, I want to know, as I said 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, that Donald Trump is benefiting from that whole Messiah syndrome, to where they see him as the divine and then everybody else as the lower creature, and to where they do not attribute Elon to Donald Trump. Elon is the enemy. MAGA doesn't like him. But
can we call him Jesus Neutron now?
But what I want to know is, will they ever, MAGA specifically, ever attribute what is happening in their life that they don't like to Donald Trump instead of everybody else? They hate the demon, but don't hate the creator of the demon. So will they ever just attribute what's going on to him? Now, mind you, he has no more elections to win, but at the same time, we know he also has influence with that party. So will they ever attribute what's happening in their life to Trump instead of everybody else? Because they're cursing out their senators and their representatives, but no Trump. Then I pulled a 7 of cups, so maybe not. Let's see. I think that's the only card I need there. Okay.
I get some, but there's something that is going to be exposed in a meeting or in a phone call or some sort of recording that puts a spotlight on a lie and a betrayal. I say this and I take it, what I'm saying myself, with a grain of salt, because we saw exactly what these people are capable of. You have the attempted Pew Pew event where the woman lost her husband and she still voted for Trump. Wouldn't even take a phone call. So you lost a loved one because of this man, and you're still there. How many people lost their loved ones because of Trump's neglect and idiocy during the pandemic? And how many turned around and voted again? Not once, not twice, but 3 times for the same person that has hurt them. I have seen interviews of federal workers that voted for Trump, one man specifically in Oklahoma that lost his job as an IRS person or whatever. No, I don't regret my vote. I'll do it again. I just think he made an honest mistake. I get that.
Kind of like
Some people will come to the realization either through an interview or a phone call or a leaked phone recording or something that they have been betrayed and lied to. Okay, but I'm saying on my own behalf, I don't think all of them will. Some powerful Kool-Aid there is all I'm saying.
I think the more it impacts them directly, so the more they lose jobs and they can't afford to pay their rent and stuff like that. The more they feel rejected and burdened by Trump, the more that they'll feel betrayed by him. So it's, the changes in jobs, their plans with everything that helps, like the stamp program, the food programs and stuff. The more they're impacted.
Yeah, the whole state of Nebraska is about to go bankrupt. They'll turn on again.
So I've pulled this flew out, this 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is confusion, gaslighting. Someone makes you believe. The 9 of Cups is wishes and wants, desires, that type of thing. Together, they create a prime victim for cult mentality. Because what you believe is what you want to believe, and what you believe is what they want you to believe too. What he's selling these people is something they want, not something they need. They need financial security. They need food on the table. They need a roof over their head, that type of thing. What they want, though, is the ability to hate and the ability to justify that hate and have the president echo the same thing. They are leashed to him. This is a cult. This is not rational people. Some of them, 1 or 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them will appear somewhere and say, I'm making a video on YouTube and I was in the cult and I regret it, and here's what I was thinking and here's what happened and here's this and that and this and this and that. Okay, fine. I understand. At the same time, the majority of them will drink the Kool-Aid and wait for the spaceship. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that it works en masse. It's 1 or 2 people and it's more than likely people who's the rest of their family is pulling away and they didn't quite see what they saw until later on. And then it's like, oh, I guess you guys were right. And then the family merges back together. But if your entire household thinks just like this, you'll go down with the ship.
And I hate to politicize a natural disaster, but I'm going to go there because these people have no problem politicizing everything else. So I'm going to get down on their level. How are you going to pay for the damages, Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma, when he got rid of FEMA? Are you going to come crying to the blue states to bail you out? That's socialism. You don't like handouts. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I am tired of our taxpayer dollars going to bail out the same people that keep dragging us into the mud. The uneducated, the bigoted, the closed-minded. It's just, I don't understand. And it's time, I think, me personally, to stop being such a nice person and punch back. Let's see, Nebraska, let's see how quickly you go bankrupt without the socialism that you hate so much.
That you need.
That you need, because
you hear the word socialism and you think, oh, that's fascism, that's communism, that's any other kind of ism other than what I need. When something goes wrong, you need a pool of money to pull from in order to fix your life. That's what your socialism is. Jesus, your Savior and Lord,
was a socialist. And
but anyway,
not Jimmy Neutron.
He was not a socialist. He was an electrifying person.
Yep.
He created electricity.
I'm telling you, guys,
Isaac Neutron, but Fig Newton.
You can't be
You
mad.
got Fig Newton, but not Isaac Newton.
A cookie.
Somebody please come claim him and take him away.
Watch, dude. He's gonna say, I'm telling you, he's gonna say Fig Newton discovered gravity next.
Oh my God.
I'm just
Burger King. Burger King's the king of England.
I am just, JD Vance is sitting back there rubbing his little mouth, his little hands, and foaming at the mouth for them to 25A this man. Watch. Because it's just unbelievable.
He just went to a rally and got protested again.
Oh yeah, saw that. I love it for him. I love it.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Trump.org. Thank you. I think I've missed a couple. I'm sorry. I was
you
on a
did.
crack up a bit. Thank you, Impish Artist. Thank you, Uma, and thank you, Claude. Thank you, MJ, and thank you, MJB808.
In our laughing fits, we missed a few.
Yes, I got a little distracted. Apologies. So I have a note here because Donald Trump's Trump.org is suing Capital One. It's suing Capital One for allegedly debanking hundreds of its accounts. Now, what Trump.org is claiming is they're suing Trump.org because they debanked the accounts because they claim Capital One did it because of January 6th. Capital One is saying, no, we did not do it because of January 6th. We did it because we debank accounts based upon activity. And sometimes it looks like fraud and all these other type of things.
But part of it was the New York fraud charges too. What, 34 felony counts was it he got convicted of?
But they're claiming it was something more legit. Now, here's the complicated and horrible thing of it all is Capital One wants to merge with some other entities, like a really big merger, and they need the Trump administration to sign off on such a thing. And the Trump administration is actually keeping in place some of the Biden administration's rules upon mergers. So how will this work out for Capital One?
As far as the lawsuit or as far as
the
the merger?
whole merger thing, because they're being sued by Trump.org, but they need Trump administration
To
for their
approve the merger. I'm going to ask on the merger. Will they be allowed to merge? Yes, but only because they're going to work a deal with him. Because it's all about the money. Yes, because there'll be an agreement. They'll come to terms to make it easier. Money in secret, working out the details of it because they threw him out. Oh, we'll hang on to you and we'll secure your finances again. Yeah, an agreement that's made. They'll get trapped in it, like they have no choice.
So, yeah, there is the Magician and the Knight of Cups combined make for a very slick talker, a manipulative person, and the person who can sell you anything with that Knight of Cups. They're very good with the speech. That's why I call it the false knight, because they are very good with the speech. So I think, yes, there may have to be some sacrifice on their part. The Three of Swords and the administration here still doesn't like you. It's kind of like Zuckerberg, who paid Donald Trump $25 million for kicking him off of Facebook or something stupid like that. So if you pay the right amount, then you're going to get what you want from this administration. There's the new action with the Ace of Wands. And so they'll find a way forward. You're probably breaking a whole bunch of laws, but you go right ahead.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is Trump getting nervous when he sees the size of the crowds that are protesting in like Hungary against Orban, and where was it, Belgrade, and all over the place? People are like massive crowds coming out, protesting, and trying to get democracy back, protesting against Russia. Is he getting nervous when he sees the size of those crowds? Because that's coming here. You touch our Social Security, I guarantee you, we will have crowds bigger than you have ever seen. You will have the biggest crowd size ever, Trump. You will win the award for crowd size, but it'll be because you tried to do away with Social Security.
Which is why his inauguration was indoors. That way it looks like a bunch of people is in one place.
You won't have to have it indoors. We'll be out there marching.
I think he's too naive to think that that's going to happen to him with the Strength card and the Six of Cups. However, with the Magician, you should be nervous, but it should be a whole bunch of things. He should be, but I think he right now thinks that this is not something that's going to happen to him. The Six of Cups can be very small-minded, childlike mind, naive, that type of thing. The Strength, he believes he has things under control. Now, mind you, there's probably people around him that are telling him that too. So it's, it's not all just that he's gullible and stupid, but they're feeding it to him.
He's illuminated on it. He's definitely talking to somebody about what's going on overseas. It may make him a little bit emotional. And it may change how he is talking about Putin. And he did make some changes towards the end of the week on some things that he was saying about Ukraine and Putin, between Ukraine and Russia. But he's so smug, he thinks he can hang on through it. So would he try to do martial law or something here? No, he thinks he's got it in hand. He doesn't, and I do get it'll grow here.
I think he's going to get a little FAFO. That's what I think.
I think so too. Who's going to take Trump out? We are.
Mm-hmm. So I want to know if the no, that was the wrong one. Which one is it? Anyway, the Agriculture Department, if they'll come up with the strategy here. So the Agriculture Department has Acts 2 programs, according to Politico, that gave schools and food banks money to buy food from local farmers. This was $1 billion in federal spending that was put in place by the last administration via executive order. So for the guy who was too old to be president, he put $1 billion in place so that schools and food banks can buy from local farmers. That was the guy who was too old to be president. I just want to say that again. He put $1 billion in place so that schools and food banks can order from local farmers. That has been cut now.
Support their local farmers.
So roughly $660 million in schools and childcare facilities were counting on to purchase food from the local food and schools cooperative agreement program, LAPA or something like that. And 2025 has been canceled according to School Nutrition Association. These programs were created again under the Biden administration, the LFPA. And they have a bunch of people to feed and now no money. So will there be some sort of strategy, some sort of hope at all that we can get funding still for these schools and their nutrition programs?
Will he walk it back in all his craziness? Or
because mind you, more than 40 states participated in this program. So that's 40 states that are going to lose money from buying from local farmers. And so will there be some sort of strategy, some sort of hope, some sort of something that keeps this money going? I mean, grassroots is always a thing to where human beings have to take care of human beings. Your government won't.
meanwhile, he's negotiating for your eggs from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody slamming in NATO. We'll let you keep Greenland. Just send us some eggs.
I got to show you that video, Jen, because I tried to send it to you and it wouldn't send. But he's begging other countries. He's an egg beggar now. He's begging other countries
that when you emailed to me, I did get.
Okay.
It came through today finally.
Okay, because he's been bullying all these other countries like Denmark to give him Greenland and all this other stuff, and now he's crying over there. Can you please give us some eggs?
What do we need eggs for?
I don't know, maybe because they're 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, $30
Don't buy them.
and they're all telling him, nope, sorry. Ain't got. This is like punching your neighbor in the face repeatedly and then going next door, hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
You can. We'll put some bleach in it, but sure.
I don't have sugar, I have arsenic. Would you like that? You know?
I'm concerned that they're stealing some of that funding. Eventually, they'll get relief. They'll eventually this manipulation will get reversed. They'll revisit it, but it's no time soon. I worry about them stealing the funds and creating chaos around what they did with the funds. So everything that they're hanging on to, it doesn't look good. You're going to have some farmers feeling it. Probably already are, because they probably don't have money to buy seeds with for this year's harvest.
They're saying in the chat that cattle farmers are selling off their cattle. They're selling off their equipment, everything.
Have to.
Did you all forget what he did last time when he bankrupted the farmers over soybeans? And somehow you thought tariffs was going to be a freaking genius idea. Let's vote for Trump. Knowing that he said he was going to deport all of your workers and all that other stuff that they were talking about. And you all said
Start a trade war with China, which half of the stuff in your house, not half, 70% of the stuff in your house comes from China.
See, Beth Cat's comment there. J.D. Vance owns Acre Trader, which buys up land cheap, farms cheap.
this is going to
After
be
they
the biggest
go through some things.
land grab. They're going to bankrupt everybody and then come in and purchase it all up. And then maybe if they're generous enough, rehire the previous owners to work there for minimum wage and no benefit. Will they get
So
funding?
basically,
Go ahead.
Basically, it's like in the old days where the lord of the manor leased land to the farmers.
Yeah, we're going back to serfdoms. It shows that the funding eventually comes up, but it's after a choice and some sort of a decision, perhaps a vote of some sort. But there's hope there. But J-Lo was saying in the
choice about an executive.
J-Lo was saying in the chat, don't worry, guys. He's just going to sign another executive order demanding chickens lay 4 to 5 eggs a day, and if not, you're going off. You're going off to KFC.
They're underperforming.
We could end up needing more than just eggs from our NATO allies.
Jen, forget the home builders. All of our lumber comes from Canada.
Yeah,
Steel,
a lot of it.
Everything. I want you to go around your house and point at one thing that is made, every single bit of it here in America.
I get there's still a burden around the funding with the 10 of Wands. It's just not the Department of Greed and Evil, as they say, as Lena says. This is just the way it is. Like, there's going to be the Department of Urban Development gets a cut, which means there was a program to where that, mind you, the old man who was just in office put into place a whole bunch of money so that the urban Development, or the Housing and Urban Development Administration, can take a bunch of money and give it to the landowners, basically, so they can fix their roofs and windows and property and that type of thing, to where a person can live in low income housing and it doesn't fall in on them. Well, that's just been cut too. And so that's either going to cause people to lose their apartments or cause the property owner just to have to sell. And then if they sell it to somebody who doesn't want to take government money, then they shut the whole thing down and then you lose your apartment anyway. And so,
and might I reiterate too, as things like FEMA and people losing housing and stuff goes away, becoming homeless or whatever, they're not going to stay up here in Chicago area where it's minus 15 in the winter when they're homeless. No, they're moving south if they become homeless. So watch out, red states. Watch out. You may get what you ask for. You may get a whole slew of homeless people because your climates are a little more moderate.
But that's okay, Jen. They can just pray to Jesus and make them go away.
Jesus didn't have a house either.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to point
Jimmy
the finger
Christ,
and,
not Jesus Christ.
I want to point the finger and gloat a little bit. This is the petty portion. Well, it's all petty portion, I think. M. Davis was the paperwork signer who said that she would not, what's the word? She would not put her signature upon the marriage of a gay couple. She was that person. What do you call the person? I forget the name.
The district
justice of the
clerk.
peace type person.
She was the county clerk person.
County clerk. Thank you. That's the words. I was trying to be too evil in my head and it took the words from me. So she was the county clerk that wouldn't put her signature and
Are you talking about the lady that Ted Cruz did that whole crusade down there to televise it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, since then, she has been fighting in and out of court and in and out of court and in and out of court because she's trying to get everything overturned to the tune of $100,000 against her, mind you. Yes, because she is saying that it's her First Amendment right. And then the courts are saying that there was like a 5-judge panel or something like that, and they all said, you were not acting as a private citizen. So your First Amendment means nothing in this court right now. You were a state official who had an official job to do. Therefore, you should have done it. So what they want to do, because her lawyers just lost again, and that's what the courts handed down to her. They're in the Sixth Circuit, which means, you know, that guy. But at the same time, the judges are quite confident that if whatever you send to the Supreme Court is still going to come back with the same decision that we made here. And so that's what they're eyeing for right now, is to try to send her case to the Supreme Court and argue First Amendment. There is a case on file that is precedent that if they were to decide in her favor, they would have to overturn that one too. And so that's more than likely not going to happen. But will she try to take her case to the Supreme Court? If so, what happens?
If you're unwilling to do the tasks that the job requires, then don't apply.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. You're not meeting your quota on getting enough marriage license out there. Don't get on her.
Your First Amendment, man. Her religious freedom. Meanwhile, her religious freedom and the rest of y'all's religious freedoms, the Department of Greed and Evil wants to get rid of the DEI, right, everywhere. But there is something within the government that created a platform for a thing called GRACE. It's an acronym, where you can go and be as religious as you want to be. And that was based upon DEI. So if DEI goes away in all government spaces, that thing would have to go away too. But it has something to do with religion. I just didn't read the whole thing because I didn't have time. But yeah, it's going to affect everybody, including them too.
She's going to try to take it there. The law stands. High court, court stands. Period. So yeah, she can try to get it there. It's not going to change it. it's not going to change the ruling from the lower court because the law stands. Turns out being a bigot is expensive, huh?
Yeah, she's going to keep trying to fight this. Once she fails again, or it fails again, she'll go to a appeals court. She'll keep moving it forward. But yeah, bad news. Bad news. Pay up.
Yeah, I think it might get worse for her, actually, too, with the 9 of Swords. Mind you, she's on the hook for $100,000 already, and not to mention lawyer fees.
I was just going to ask, how much is she spending on lawyers and court fees and everything else to not pay $100,000?
Because keep in mind, I don't even remember when this case first happened, but she's been in court since then. And so that's a whole bunch of attorney fees.
It was way back during the end of Obama's term, wasn't it? When she was in Kentucky or somewhere.
Yep.
But I think this is going to get worse. I don't see any victory for her. This will cause some more attention, though, so she may be able to, get some Republican to shout out her name. I don't know, but keep in mind they do like photo ops and things, because that's what they did in the first place, and then they found out she'd been married and divorced 85,000 times, and so it gets worse.
Probably as somebody working pro bono for some anti-gay lawyer.
I can't.
I'm going to go, and feel free to skip this reading, okay? But we're going to go into conspiracy land for just a second.
Conspiracy land, Braxy?
The child's name is, where is it at? Where'd it go? I said, where'd it go? Okay. James White, I believe was his name. No, Jamie White. He was a reporter for InfoWars. He was killed. His sister said it had nothing to do with his job. But his car was being broken into. This is what's on the police report. His car was being broken into, and then he tried to stop them, and then he got killed or shot or something like that. Now,
is it a Tesla?
This is the second time, though, that his car was being broken into right outside his apartments, is what the story is. So what happened to him? Was it random, or was this somebody that was targeted? Alex Jones says he was the greatest man in the world, and if it wasn't for, he blamed Biden in Biden's administration on Jamie's death. Naturally.
And what did he do for InfoWars?
He was a reporter.
A reporter, okay.
Investigative journalist, but I'm just going to say reporter.
I get it was targeted for something on a podcast, on an interview. There's the target, the attack. This would be a break-in. The center to that is the birds, something that he said. A podcast, an interview, in a meeting, something like that. That caused the accident. So I would say yes, it was.
Yeah, this was planned. This was planned. It was a power play. Someone paid to do the job, even take him out. I'm getting there was likely 3 in on the planning of this. There was structure around it, and there was money paid out.
I
Hit
get the
job
man,
for entertainment purposes, only YouTube.
but I get a betrayal of some sort. So this was Target, I think. But there's the plan in here, there's him, and then there's your Three of Swords. There does need to be some cooperation, though, if you would like to get to the bottom of the thing when it comes, because they haven't caught anybody. And so there's somebody here. The Three of Swords is familiar. That's why it's betrayal. Betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the people you know. And so there are some people that he would have known that did this. Okay. Gavin Newsom is he?
Because I was livid when I saw that.
Is okay, bias aside, is he being misunderstood as far as his actions goes, or is he defecting in some sort of traitor, if you will? Because he's doing a whole lot of playing in the Republican sandbox, not just Republican, but like extremist. And you don't talk to Steve Bannon unless you're telling him to get away from you. So is he being misunderstood as is he just reaching across the aisle trying to talk to the red homie, or is there some sort of
you can't read
shedding of the image?
aisle? In my opinion, that's why I'm going to sit this one out. I understand where you're coming from, Johnny. Like there's some sort of strategy maybe to like shed some light on these crazies. But in my view, the only time you reach across the aisle to talk to Charlie Kirk or Steve Bannon is to punch him in the throat. That's it. That's it.
I mean, I can understand people going on Fox News, and Democrats that go on Fox News, like Pete Buttigieg. He goes on Fox News all the time, and I think that's awesome.
The difference I can see, though, is Pete Buttigieg goes with an agenda to talk about what's going on in the administration he was working in and how he can set the record straight. So he's going back and forth, not, hey, Steve, how you doing type of thing. Let's sit down and have a tea and a coffee over my podcast type of thing. It's a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to throw rocks, but it's a little strange.
I'm tired of giving people the benefit of the doubt at this point.
Me too, to be honest.
That's just me. I tried so hard with what was his face, our old AG.
Yeah.
On the inside, I was like, "Girl,
just be calm. It takes time." And he did nothing. The whole time.
Way too timid.
When people show you who they are, Fetterman, believe them.
He'd be a good one for me to do a GT on because
He told AOC, "You don't scare me," basically. So say what you want to say. I'm not afraid of the squad, in quotations.
I mean, he's in trouble.
I get Newsom is trying to heal and calm the waters from all the chaos. And he's trying to shine a light on everything that they've planned and are doing and all the lies and everything and appeal to the people on a emotional level. But dude, you had other options you could have done this on, not Charlie Kirk. Not
or Steve Bannon.
Dipshit.
Did he reach out to Kamala? Did he reach out to Walz? Did he reach out to Biden? Did you reach out to either of the Obamas?
Joyce is saying that Newsom said that his son liked Charlie Kirk. Why is your son watching and listening to Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk.
Your son, as opposed to going on talk Charlie Kirk.
Not to talk shit, but Charlie Kirk is a community college dropout. So who is he to be giving political advice when the guy has, at max, a regular high school education? Granted, it's more than Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene combined, but I'm just saying.
The young kids like him. They think he's outrageous. And again, he's somebody that supports hate. So, but if your dad is Gavin Newsom and you're leaning towards Charlie Kirk, I'd be spending time with that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I get it blows up in his face. This little strategy meeting or whatever he is that he's trying to do.
It's already blown up in his face, John.
Yeah, it's going to continue. I don't think that's going to go. If he has, I didn't read on his intention. I just pulled the card, see what it says. If he has a good intention, I don't see it here. If he has a bad one, I don't see it here. But whatever his intention is, blows up in his face. I think he's also, the tower is not just blowing up in your face as exposure. And so you're going to see exactly what it is he was trying to do or is doing or who he actually is. Because when the tower comes down, you're going to either crumble and fall with it, or you're going to strategize and pick it up. And so he is going to be exposed as who he is. And so then you can see government Gavin Newsome actually is. So this is the tower moment for Democrats, period. So
I think
you're
it's
going to see who a lot of them are.
I think it's a tower moment for everyone, not just here in the US, but globally. Because I mean, I was just thinking about this today. I know that, and Bernie Sanders and AOC and the progressive wing of the party are the only people that ever speak up about it, that the wealth inequality is dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Look where we are now because of one billionaire that made his billions off of our backs. Not only is he a threat here, he's a threat globally. And I would hope that lawmakers take this moment to realize that trickling the wealth from the bottom up and then waiting, it's been 50, 60 years for it to trickle down to us and it hasn't worked. When you create inequality like that and you have an entire, you brainwash an entire society to think that billionaires are our best friends, you're going to end up with a huge problem when you get psychopaths like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, because now they become a threat globally. So I hope they're watching and paying attention and are not so tone deaf that they can get it through their heads, the danger that it poses.
I got one more question. Okay. Mary Trump was doing an interview where she was asked, name something that Donald Trump has ever done that was nice. Paraphrasing. And she started laughing. I want to know from your cards. Thank you, Mike. Give me one thing that your cards would say Donald Trump has ever done that is nice. If it's nothing, say nothing, but give me one thing. For someone that's not in his family.
Like, and not accidentally nice, like
Yes.
intentionally nice.
He set out to do a nice thing. It tells me in 1968 he bought somebody a candy bars. One thing.
One thing that he's ever done that would be considered nice: upgrading wives. Changing woman committed, upgrading his wives. That's the
Everything's superficial. It's all about image. You know how when his dad developed Alzheimer's, how he still went into the office and they would have him sign things and let him think he was still kind of in charge, letting his dad think he was still in charge of the family business.
Oh, for the person in the chat, I said
Play-
upgrading
play-
his wives.
play-
They're saying it goes. I said upgrading his wives. It was Stork's woman ring, upgrading and changing his wives.
What nice thing has he done? I think with the death card and the Six of Swords, you have to die first, and then the nice thing is done. Because that's my card for transitioning from one side to the other, and then there's the death. And so he would have to die first, and then the nice thing would be done. Whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I would, but if somebody did, I wouldn't cry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, listen, if it's tomorrow, if it's not, then fine. Anyway, so thank you all for joining.
Oh, Johnny, can I ask one more petty question?
Yes, you sure can.
So, Carville, James Carville, George Carville, whatever his name is, has been making the rounds saying that Donald Trump suffers from neurosyphilis, which that had come up in his very first grand tableau I ever did for him on my channel. That tableau is broken up into like 5 or 6 or 7 different parts. You might want to go back and watch. But he's saying he is convinced
that's come up in my card several times,
that Donald Trump suffers from neurosyphilis. There was a recent picture where he's going like this and he's got blood on his hand. Not like blood that he just like, no, it was like from the skin on his hand. People were saying that that's a sign of syphilis, late stage syphilis, which is neurosyphilis, which kind of tracks because he's been very adamant about not releasing any of his medical records at all, which syphilis, to my understanding, after a quick Google search, is easily treated with antibiotics. When you don't treat it, it jacks you up. So, and supposedly, that's also what his idol, little mustache German man, had as well. Does he have neurosyphilis? I know that's kind of gross, but
He's gross. I mean, can't nothing be grosser than that. So.
I have always gotten he has it, and so does Steve Bannon, because that's come up in
Steve Bannon
I've done
is
before
syphilis.
2 or 3 years ago.
Syphilis has Steve
Yeah.
Bannon.
Steve Bannon looks like The Walking Dead. I mean, that's before he did all that stuff to his skin. Remember all those sores he had? It's like, duh, like, God. What the hell? So does Trump have neurosyphilis? Thank you,
Thank
Claudia.
you, Claudia.
Claudia. I get he's about to have some mobility issues, but I don't get syphilis. He's about to have some issues with walking straight or standing straight in his stride type of thing.
I get yes, and that's why there's a lot of secrets about his health and abundance. And it's not just syphilis, it's probably a bunch of other stuff. An abundance of secrets around his health. But yeah, that's a yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got cooties.
A shared disease, something that's shared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's affecting his brain too.
So, Nero,
Yes.
let's hurry up, get the job done, man. We got like 30 minutes. Okay, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up.
Here you go, Trump. Go get you some monostat and some KO pectate. You'll be all right in the morning. Call me in the morning.
Maybe Isaac Neutron can help him with
Yeah.
some kind of
I bet you. I
Sure.
bet he knows everything.
Put Grandpa in the Tesla from Isaac Neutron, and he'll be all right.
I can't believe he said neutron.
make sure Big Newton's there too.
I'm telling you, he's going to say Fig Newton discovered gravity next.
Fig Newton discovered gravity.
Fig Newton, the cookie, discovered gravity.
Oh, God, somebody come get him pretty, please. Jesus.
Nero,
So,
hurry it up.
we'll see y'all next week. We'll be on Becca's channel. Oh, for someone who was asking, the tarot class I teach from the Rider-Waite. So if you want to get that deck, you'll follow along with what I'm doing. But you don't have to have those cards because most cards are based upon the Rider-Waite. So, but you'll follow along easier with if you have the Rider-Waite too. So we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, everybody, for